Welcome to We Sit In. It's Tuesday night of the Spotlight Series. We've got a crowd of folks here watching our video. Stop down, come for dinner. You will love everything they have here, including the bar with all the great drinks. We'd love to have you. With me today is Lynne Wagner from Distinctive Travel and Tours. Welcome to the Wave. Thanks for coming on the Spotlight Series.
Thank you, Scott, for having me. I'd like to thank everyone who invited me, and I'm excited to be here.
Great. Tell us a little bit about Distinctive Travel and Tours. Where are you located?
I am located in a remote office. I'm a virtual travel agent.
Nice.
But I can also come to your home and book your travel for you because I don't work on a concrete building. I work remotely. I can work from anywhere. I booked a travel opportunity for a client. I was in Budapest just in August, so it's very easy, and my clients love it. They go, "Where are you today, Lynn?"
Well, and where you are, maybe where they want to go.
In a lot of cases, when people call me, they say, "I'd like to go to fill in the blank," and I go, "Oh, I've been there. You're gonna love it. It's a good choice." So I really do try to take advantage of travel so I can also give my client those little travel tips that, that make the vacation not just a good vacation, but a wonderful vacation, because time is valuable.
Yes, absolutely. And how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this for family and friends off and on for 25 years.
Wow.
And I've just been in business for myself for the past 4.
Okay.
So that would make 29 years total.
Wow. And what are a couple of your favorite places to go?
Well, the Caribbean is always a favorite. My most favorite vacation was French Polynesia, Tahiti, where I actually got to speak French. So it was fun for me. And I found a French bookstore and loaded up one suitcase full of French books.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was really fun, but it was a wonderful trip, and that was a cruise, and it was a full 30 days. And just as an aside, I've spent 1 year at sea.
Wow. I've heard of that, people on TV saying, "Oh, well, it's cheaper to live at sea than it is on land. That's where I'm going to retire." And never really thought about it.
Well, I'm not sure about living on it, if it's cheaper, but you certainly do get to go to places. Well, cruises bring you to countries. River cruises bring you through countries.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a difference there. So depending upon what your tastes are, there is some kind of a cruise for you.
And how many countries have you been to?
Well, it was funny. I hadn't really thought about it until I was asked that question. And I counted, and it's 44.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, not really when you look at the scheme of the total countries of the world, which is 196. We're not close to being like in a wow state, but it was pretty good for most people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that experience helps a lot to know, I think of some countries where there's a tourist side and then there's a real side, and you don't want to get into the wrong part of a country, but you want to experience life and what that country really brings to the table and what people see, and you do that.
I do that, and I love to explore when I go through a country, and we were in Budapest and Prague for an extension on a river cruise. And while we were in Prague, it was funny. We just wandered down this little alley and found the best Italian restaurant, and it was just wonderful. It was just as good as being on Federal Hill here in Providence. So it was to die for, Italian food.
And on your website, you talked about your agency has a vision of a 5-star luxurious travel guidance.
Yes. So let me just take one of those words and just ask you the question. When you hear luxury, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Expensive.
Well, and that's where you're wrong. because if you look in Merriam-Webster's dictionary, you'll find that luxury means spacious. It means relaxing. It means pampering. And that's what a vacation should do for you.
Yeah.
And that's why, luxury doesn't have to be expensive. For some people, luxury is a great cup of coffee or just a chance to sit down and read a little bit or have one of those little bubble baths we all love. So luxury doesn't have to be expensive. So I try to guide you with consideration of your budget into a luxury vacation for you.
Okay. And where would you feel are a couple of up-and-coming destinations in 2023?
Well, I have to tell you, adventure travel is huge. It's busting at the seams. So you have adventure by rail in Africa. You have adventure in the Antarctic with actually going and doing some research with scientists on one of the explorer kinds of ships. So it really does give you something different. The Galapagos is another adventure travel. And that is very much, guided so that you get such an in-depth view of things that it can't compare to anything you would do on your own.
And where would you feel is unexpected gems that people continually overlook?
Sometimes your backyard. Let me give you, for instance, the United States has plenty to offer. A gem that is overlooked often is St. Augustine's in Florida. It's just not the Fountain of Youth, Ponce de Leon. It has so much more. It does have the history, but it has this colonial feel to it that just lets you feel at ease and just you're absorbed into the culture. So I really like to, especially when people go, oh, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there. Have you been to St. Augustine's? They go, oh, no, I haven't. I think I should try that. And there's some wonderful, wonderful hotels there. Will fit every budget. And, lots of people like to get out and just walk around. So there's quite a lot you can do and take little tours on your own, or I can set them up. But those are the kinds of places. And I have a million of those tucked in my pocket.
Okay. And talk to us a little bit about if I chose, I'm going to book the airline and the hotel and everything myself online because everybody's a whiz on Google these days versus the difference of what you're doing, that your service offers.
Well,
Because I know there's a lot there.
That's a really good point. Well, the first thing is that you're not going to read like I read. Let me give you, for instance. Somebody wanted to go, this is probably a funny story. So, a woman wanted to go to Monaco. I got a phone call. She says, I think I made a mistake. I said, oh? She goes, yeah. She said, I wanted to go to Monaco. I said, well, what happened? She goes, I'm going to Morocco.
Oh, whoops.
Whoops.
It's a bit different.
Right. And so if you're not really looking and you're not really reading, then you can make errors. And sometimes those other online agents, booking agents, I'll give you a prime example of what happened to me. I booked 2 tickets on one of those, and they had my first leg of my flight going into one airport and the next leg of the flight going out of another airport.
Oh.
And it's a good thing I read, because I said, wait a minute, do you know what you've done? And they went, well, they made the change. They were the ones that made the change. So they didn't realize, because they don't know the distance between the airports. So that was another error. So then cancellation policies, people don't read. Or they don't realize that a lot of this low price that they think is wonderful is including everything, and that's only the price they're going to pay. And there are so many add-ons that you don't know. So I want to let you know before you go. And that's why you would use someone like me, because the first question I always say is, isn't your time valuable? Do you have time to just do research on really properties that you don't know? I'm the one that knows that the Marriott swimming pool is not going to be available during your stay. I know that. So, but if you don't know that and you go to the Marriott and you think that you're going to have a wonderful swim, you can't wait to get in that pool, and you go under construction, that's just not what you want to know.
Sure.
And I could have put you at another hotel and you would have had a much better time.
Even with your knowledge of the flights, to know a flight price is not a flight price versus a flight with a little bit of leg room that you expected but didn't buy, plus the luggage, plus a carry-on fee. The $99 fare sounds awesome, but it's really $350 like all the others because of what happens, and you're letting customers know that ahead of time, so there's no shock and awe at the airport.
Well, there shouldn't be any shock when you go on a vacation. And the other thing too is the number one rule in travel is flexibility. You've got to be flexible because you don't know if, something has happened or a crew didn't show up for an airplane flight. So you really have to be flexible. I always say, first of all, take travel insurance. Please do that. No matter what you do, yes, it's an extra expense, but if you've invested any kind of money in your trip, why would you just let that go if something happened? If you got sick, you got COVID, a traveling member could not go with you. You want to protect your investment.
Sure.
And that's the other thing. If you're not thinking about that and you get sick and you have no travel insurance, you might as well have taken the money, gone to the window, and just let it go in the wind. It's unfortunate how many people lose money in travel because they didn't use a travel agent. They didn't read.
Okay.
And I'm here to help.
No, I appreciate that, and I know a lot of our viewers will. Also, talk a little bit about the next two places you're planning to go.
Oh, well, I have a group that I am taking on the 29th of December. It's on a princess cruise, and I have 30 couples going, and it's going to be a lovely time. And that is going to be doing the Southern Caribbean, stopping at the island of Martinique, which is something new, and Guadeloupe, which is something new to the princess itinerary. So that's the first thing. And then I have a seminar at sea that I'm going to do, which is more Eastern Caribbean, and we're going to have trainings, so with my company. So, and then after that, my next big trip is I booked to Egypt.
Okay.
So.
Have you ever been there before?
No.
Okay.
But it's going to be quite a lot of good fun, and
Yeah.
my dream is to ride a camel. So, I'm sure they have them.
Sure they do.
So.
And I'm sure they're willing to let you try.
Oh, yes.
I just based on the things I know about camels, I would get in good graces first.
Oh, yes.
Ask
Yes.
permission to get on. Make sure he likes you.
I will be very kind,
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so Egypt is our next big trip. But after that, have you ever thought about rail? People discount rail a lot. They think it's either hotel, motel, or cruise. No. What about rail? There are some great rail trips that, for instance, we have rail trips to Ireland that all you need to do is just they'll pick you up at the airport, they will bring you to your hotel. The hotel is across the street from the train station. You get on the train and you can go to your next stop. And when you get to the next stop, your next hotel is just a block from the train station, and there will be a local host there waiting for you. And really, you will be independent. but you'll have a little bit of guidance. So you'll be free to ask any question that you'd like. And you can have a wonderful time. I just had 2 clients that did Ireland with rail, and they did 3 stops: Killarney, Galway, Dublin.
Oh,
So they said it was the best vacation they ever had.
nice. And it gets you between places quicker and easier, less traffic. It's someone that knows what's going on instead of having to fight your way to someplace you don't know how to get there.
Well, you know, you bring up something interesting. A lot of people go, oh, we'll go to this place and we'll drive ourselves.
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. However, are you really that familiar with the traffic signals that are in other countries? And if you get into trouble, do you know who you're going to call?
Yeah.
I mean, so it makes a lot of sense to do guided tours because you're going to put up with an awful lot of misery if something happens. And of course, that takes away your time, valuable time from your vacation. And that just annoys you and just ruins it,
And one of the other things that we're looking forward to is you're going to be writing for the paper.
Yes.
News to our viewers out there. You're going to be writing periodicals for our group to talk about trips. And what are some of the things you want to get into writing?
Well, one of the things is packing. Really, packing is a big thing. And I will be telling you that I am the very first to say I learned my lesson the hard way. I lost my diamond earrings. You take too much, you will lose something. And I just happened to lose my diamond earrings, which nobody on that vacation was happy about. Nobody. They're somewhere. I can't even remember where they were because I just brought too much. So the less you bring, the less you lose. That's my new motto.
Okay. I will point my wife to that article. She's
Yes.
a heavy packer.
Yes, and so I can do 2 weeks in a carry-on, and I think that, you know, every place has laundry. Everybody washes their clothes, and once I got used to that idea, things were wonderful. And the other thing too is, it's my vacation. I will spend a little extra, not to take time out of my vacation to do laundry. To me, it's just, and I think that it makes sense. Just let the people do the laundry. They're good at it. They will make them clean, and you will have clean clothes while you're out doing a tour.
That's smart. Well, we'll be looking forward to your articles.
Thank you.
Following along to where you're heading. And folks, if you want to get in contact with Lynne, we'd be thrilled to have them call you. How can they reach you?
My telephone is 401-265-8300, and I usually answer the phone, "Hi, it's Lynne."
All right. Please take a look. We'd love you to take a look at what she can do for you. Use her experience to better your vacation and make it luxury. I love that statement, and I'm so thankful that you're coming on to the Rhode Island Wave to inform our viewers, not only tonight. I think you've given us some great tips, but everything you're going to be doing in your columns.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope we can get together again.
Absolutely. We'd
Thank
love
you.
to. Thank you.